If you run a boarding barn and you feel constantly tired, broke, and weirdly guilty about your rates, there's a real chance you're secretly paying your boarders to stay. Not in gift cards, in hay, in time, in unpaid hours, in your own stress. Let's fix that. If you run a boarding barn and your stalls are reasonably full, cash still feels tight every month, you'll feel bad every time you think about raising board. This is for you. I'm Curtis Andriotti. I help horse business owners add real profit without adding more horses or more hours. Today, we're going to cover three things: how to tell if you're subsidizing your boarders without realizing it, a simple way to calculate your true cost per horse, and what to do if the math says your busy barn is actually draining you. You might not like the answers, but you can't fix what you won't look at. The first time I did this with a boarding barn owner, she said, "My board is fair. I'm the cheapest in my area by $100." We sat down and did the numbers. We added up hay and feed per horse, bedding, labor per horse, the horse's share of rent, utilities, insurance, maintenance, a tiny bit of money for equipment replacement, then compared that to what she charged. She went quiet, stared at the paper, and finally said, "So I'm basically paying them about $75 a month to keep their horses here." And that was before paying herself. Her barn looked full and thriving from the outside. Inside, she was personally funding everyone's cheap board with own time and mental health. That's what I want to help you avoid. Here's the trap most boarding barns fall into. You set board based on what others charge, not your actual costs. You're afraid to be the expensive barn, so you stay low to be fair. You mentally subtract only hay and bedding and tell yourself, "There's something left, I must be okay." Meanwhile, you're ignoring your share of labor on that horse, their share of rent, mortgage, power, water, and insurance, their share of wear and tear on fences, arenas, tractors. All that cost has to land somewhere. If it isn't in the board price, it lands on you. That's how you end up secretly paying for your boarders to stay. Board is a package of resources each horse consumes every month: feed, bedding, time, space, utilities, risk. We need to put a real number on that. Let's do it. Grab a pen and paper and title it "Cost per boarded horse month," and put the month. We'll make rough estimates. That's enough to see if you're in danger. Step one: direct horse costs. Hay and feed. What does one horse actually eat per month? Rough bales, grain, supplements you cover. Write hay and feed per horse per month. Fill in the blank. Bedding. On average, how many bags or bales of bedding per horse per month? Write bedding per horse per month. Fill in the blank. Step two: labor per horse. Think about all the touching, mucking, feeding, turning, in, out, blanketing, water, basic checks. On average, how many minutes per day does one boarded horse take? Example: 30 minutes per day times 30 days equals 900 minutes equals 15 hours. Now multiply by a reasonable hourly rate. You'd have to pay someone. Labor hours per month equals hours times hourly rate. Yes, even if you're the one doing it, and especially then. Step three: property share per horse. Take your monthly rent or mortgage, property tax, monthly share, utilities, barn portion, insurance, liability care, custody, control, and property, basic repairs and maintenance. Add them. Total property costs per month. Divide that by the number of boarded horses. Property cost per horse per month. Fill in the blank. Step four: add leak costs per horse. These are soft, but they're real. Barn management, booking tools, office supplies, trash, miscellaneous services. A small budget for equipment replacement, fences, buckets, etc. Estimate a per horse share. If you spend $300 per month and have 15 boarders, That's $300 divided by 15 equals $20 per horse. Write lead costs per horse per month and fill in the blank. Now add it up. Hay and feed per horse, fill in the blank. Bedding per horse, fill in the blank. Labor per horse, fill in the blank. Property per horse. Lead cost per horse, fill in those blanks. Total cost per boarded horse, fill that in. Now write your actual board rate for that horse. Current board rate, fill in the blank. Subtract true profit per horse before paying yourself. Board minus total cost equals, fill in that blank. If that number is negative or tiny, you have your answer. You're paying them to be there. If you're seeing $50, $20, or even negative profit per horse, and you've been donating 60 to 80 hours a week on top of that, it's normal to feel angry, embarrassed, scared, or like, I knew it. You're not bad at this. You were just never shown how to do this math in a way that made sense for horses. You've been personally funding a discount program for everyone else's animals. You don't need to feel guilty about charging more. You need to feel guilty about sacrificing yourself so other adults can keep underpriced board. If your profit per horse is small or negative, you have 3 levers. Raise rates to cover reality. You don't have to jump in one go, but you need a plan. For example, move towards a total cost plus 200 to 300 per horse over 6 to 12 months. Redesign what's included. Create a base board that covers essentials. Charge separately for high labor extras, blanketing, special feed handling, individual turnout, etc. Change who you board. Prioritize horses and owners who are low drama and higher margin. Gradually let go of the relationships that only work when you bleed. You don't need to rip the Band-Aid off overnight, but you do need to stop pretending the wound isn't there. If you want a ready-made sheet to plug this into, it's inside my free barn profit starter kit and my barn monthly overhead map, the barn number snapshot, the board and lesson price check. You can get them free just in the link below. If you want help planning price changes and talking to boarders in a calm, fair way, that's exactly what we do inside the Horse Business Profit Club, with live barn profit clinics and a community of owners who get it. You're not bad with money because you price board like everyone else. But if your math says you're paying people to keep their horses at your barn, you're not running a business. You're running a charity with hay and shavings for currency. Start by answering one honest question. What does it really cost to keep one boarded horse there for 30 days? Do that for every stall and stop being the person quietly paying everyone else's bills.